after the space has been created, it has to be occupied by the civilian institutions, the politicians, the police, the civil administration. Unfortunately, after this local government reform, the civilian state representatives who used to be the deputy commissioners and the magisterial system, that was removed. So you had a complete void which was handed over to the local government. Now the local government, I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with it, but in controlling violence, they are to a great extent restricted in their options, because they're dealing with these people, and most of the local government employees had to leave Swat itself. The Nazims, etc., are sitting in Islamabad. So who's the local civilian leader to help the military to go in?
There's a huge void, basically.
There's a huge void, so we'll have to restructure ourselves very quickly.
And the problem is that the militants seem to be winning a propaganda war and filling that vacuum themselves, and almost creating a situation and an image that they are very much in control. They are being so bold as to call MNAs and MPAs to their own courts. Now, surely someone needs to take a stand and say, hang on, we're the people. Well, and let's make it very clear as well that the people of the tribal areas are voted in an ANP secular democratic government.
I think you are very right. Unless the space is reoccupied, we are going to face problems. Now, the problem with the MPAs or the MNAs going in, they can do the second part. The first part is to break the myth of ascendancy of the militants. That has to be broken.
And that is a myth.
That is a myth. I mean, Pakistan is strong enough, it really concentrates and gives the right objectives for the military operations. I think it should be able to achieve maximum results. And then the civilian things could go in. Now, I'll just give you an instance where policy reform should be going in. For example, in Swat, the government has arrested about 1,700 militants. Now, they're being kept in makeshift jails and whatever it is. Now, isn't there a requirement to begin a program of rehabilitation so that these militants, after they go out of government control, become normal citizens?
So you're talking about the institutional changes, the infrastructure that needs to be introduced to deal with this situation.
Yes. On the 10th of April last year, when the NWFP Chief Minister took oath of office, in his maiden speech, he said that they would be launching a peace plan, which is a holistic approach to this whole idea. But somewhere down the line, that thread was lost. And now it's a rudderless ship, more or less. So the government itself, because the provincial government is just one entity, the federal government, the provincial government, these are the two apex bodies giving the decisions and leading the front. The military is supposed to be implementing the plans, and the military has to be supported by the police because the ground has to be occupied. Those are the people, the police, they are the people who have to stay in the areas at night.
But apparently there's only 50% capacity of police officials at the moment in the area, according to the military spokesman. They're running quite low on people patrolling the area.
Yes, I think Swat at the moment has about 800 policemen looking after this huge district. Many of them have, out of fear, refused to join duty. Others have resigned. So there is a huge problem. So this has to be reconstituted along with massive police reforms. Their salary structures, the insurances, what about those who get killed? How do we support their families? I mean, it's a holistic approach. It's not a sporadic one-off.
They need to think wider than just, because as we mentioned as well, the ANP is calling for talks again, offering an olive branch, but that's just skimming the surface. You say they need to go more than skin deep.
Saima, I have a lot of problem about talks.